Yeah, what's the deal? What's the deal? How you feel? What's the deal? Where you at? So y'all here? Y'all like inspiration? Y'all like motivation? Denise Camille? Y'all like intellation? Denise Camille? Y'all know I gotta make up a few words here and there, but who y'all here with? Ventilation and Denise Camille. Under the act. But we not playing no games. We're not into games. We don't like Sega, PlayStation, or Xbox. So y'all here with Dilate the Dialogue with Denise Camille. Dilate the Dialogue. We gotta open up, not them legs, but the mind. Denise Camille. Because I know y'all trying to find y'all strength. Denise Camille. Intertwined with the life of me. Denise Camille.
Greetings, everyone. How are y'all doing? It's another episode. Dilate to Dialogue with your one and only, Denise Camille. How's everybody growing, going, moving, and shaking? Y'all doing okay? I want to say this is episode 11, season 1. Again, Dilate to Dialogue with Denise Camille. So let's talk about it today. I always got to look at the topic or the quote just to be like, oh, okay, to make sure I get it right so I don't, jag it up or whatever. Today's topic is, does your level of respect... I should grab me some water, excuse me. It don't want to come out. There goes my throat chakra trying to close up. Today's topic, does your level of respect come through fear? Right. Does your level of respect come through fear? Let's start with these definitions, people. Let us go with define levels. What's a level? So that way we're on the same page. A horizontal plane or a line with respect to the distance above or below a given point. A position on a real or imaginary scale of amount, quantity, extent, or quality. Having a flat and even surface without slopes or bumps. These are adjectives now. The first two are nouns. The second adjective is at the same height as someone or something else, right? Then you have the verb, give a flat and even surface to. And then you have the British verb, make equal or similar to level, right? So what was the other one? Respect, R-E-S-P-C-T. A feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements, right? A feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. And then let's go for that last definition of fear, which I like to say F-E-A-R means false evidence appearing real. We'll just go to the definition of fear, an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat, right? So those are the definitions of today's quote, which is, does your level of respect come through fear? Okay. Clearly my eyes are like doing its own thing today. Does your level of respect come through fear? So let's talk about which type of respect we're talking about. Are we talking about respect for ourselves? Are we talking about respect for other people? Are we talking about the respect we want everyone else to see of us to give us what we need, right? So let's go with the level of respect of ourselves. Does your level of respect come through fear? Now, with that, the level of respect, most times, okay, so here's an example. Let's go with a parent to a child. Does a child respect their parent based off of fear? Because, there are some parenting styles where they say you got to raise them in fear. Like when you look at them, they automatically crumble and shake. Oh God, no, it's mom or dad. I can't do it because they just looked at me weird. That's a fear opposed to a respect avenue of saying, I know that their look means of protection or of redirection or getting me out of a place where I don't need to be, right? Yet that fear, that respect that as a child is built up on, it doesn't have a strong foundation when they become adults. Because when they become adults, they tend to realize that, wait, mom didn't necessarily tell me why I shouldn't be doing that. They just gave me the fearful look, so I just knew not to do it. Yet that didn't help me in my adult life, because here I am at the bottom level, not knowing that respect has to come with certain things, certain thoughts, and certain tangible products that can prove itself, right? Because it's respect. Most times when you meet someone, your basic respect is saying, I recognize you because you're a human, just like I'm a human, right? So with that, you can say, hey, you're you, how you doing? You know, even though our slight prejudgment can kind of RoboCop, kind of size him up. He looks like this. His shoulders are dropped. He might have an arch back. He might be too, any little prejudgmental things that we automatically do. We don't even think we do. And then before that, I should say, here goes our intuition or our energy vibe that can say something like, my nervous system is acting up a little too much. This person might not be for me to be even in around their energy, right? They might be at a place of complacency, or they might be at a place of toxicity, or something that your body is not connecting their vibe with your vibe, right? Because we know energy is real. We're not going to talk about that today. Today we're talking about, does your level of respect come through fear? So we were talking about the child to the parent because we can see that fear is, again, I'm going to go with my definition real quick. False evidence appearing real. Fear puts us in a place of artificial respect, I can say. Artificial respect because we're not wholeheartedly trusting that person because it's based off of fear, right? Or I can use that word vulnerability. We don't feel vulnerable enough to be ourselves, so we honor that person or that representative that they give us, and we call it respect because we're in a fearful mindset. Did y'all catch that? So we can go another example of an employee to an employer, right? We're all human. We all bleed the same way. We all got the same 4 ventricles in our heart. For the females, we all have a cycle once a month. And for everyone, a bullet wound will take you out if it's hit in the right place. So the respect, again, should be at a baseline level of we're all human. Yet, because there are titles and positions in place, which are based off of money and currency, which we value, and I'm kind of chipping that in a different angle, yet we value these things, so we think because someone makes so much more than us, we have to respect them at a higher valuable level. You have some people that think that they're high value man or high value woman. We're not going to go. Okay, again, today's topic is, does your level of respect come through fear, right? I'm staying focused because I know I can run, and the Sag in me and the Aries is like, no, take them there. No, we're not going to go there tonight. We're going to stay focused with, excuse me, does your level of respect come through fear? So you know what? Let's take a quick break. We're going to come back with the second half, and we're going to address that employer-employee, high value, low value, respect levels, and fears on the second half. All right, y'all. Take that quick break. Welcome back, y'all. Greetings. Welcome back. Y'all here with the second half of Denise Camille. Oh, I keep forgetting. Y'all here with Dilate to Dialogue with the one and only Denise Camille. Let me fix this headset for a little bit. There we go. I can hear properly now. Okay. With today's topic, second half, does your level of respect come through fear? Does your level of respect come through fear? I don't know we're not going to, okay, she's here. Everybody say hi, hair. Hey. She gets her attention. Okay. Does your level of respect come through fear? Y'all know I'm shuffling here. Y'all like, what is she doing over there? I'm shuffling my Denise Camille self-awareness deck, right? Because y'all know this divination reader over here. Shuffling, right? Okay, does your level of respect come through fear? So I wanted to talk about in the second half of the employer-employee, the value of respect and fear. We were talking about the employee, where most times an employee, let's say someone who just got hired, right? You're bright eyed and bushy tailed with this job. You're, respecting everything that this manager has says to you, HR, because again, they're giving you finance. And that card fell all the way down there. They're giving you finance to romance the value of yourself, right? Because some people feel that because you're new, you get the little pretend red carpet, but it's really like, it's red with the red flags, but they're like, no, it's green. Don't even worry about it. It's green flags all day is what we do. We love everyone here. We're a family. I'm thinking about those jokes, about those families, jokes about being at a job. And the level of respect, you give these people a greater level of your respect, of your value, of your time, which is your value. That's your currency, right? To fearfully not be feeling like it's equal give and take, right? Because I know I had to learn the hard way. When you go for an interview with the job, my anxiety used to flare the fuck up. I mean, jitters galore. Until I had a friend who worked as an HR director, and she gave me a little pinch of a nugget, and it went so far. She said, when you go to the interview, they're not just interviewing you. You're interviewing them as well, where you can easily walk away. Then when she said, I remember my father used to say, you always have negotiation potential. You can always walk away from anything, any contract. You're in control just as much as they're in control. It's that tug of war of, okay, who has more? Well, y'all ever read that book, The Art of War? The Art of War talks about basically winning the battle through the mind first. Once you go in there with confidence, with courage, with charisma, critical thinking skills, those C's, you've already won. You control the room, not in a way to manipulate, just like, oh, I need 9,500,000 every 2 hours. It's just, you're saying to yourself, if it's for me, it's for me. If I got it, I got it. If I know how to do the job, I shouldn't be afraid, right? Yet that's a respect, that's a level of fear, a level of respect controlled through fear. Because if you don't think you have it, if you feel like, man, they got all the control, their balls in their court, whatever they say, whatever they do, just brought up another topic to talk about also, the level of respect comes through fear. Because when you're in a job interview, when you finally got the job, yes, you're at a place of humility. Let me humble myself. I don't know this area. I don't know this. I don't know that. Let me learn what I can while I'm here. And if it's worth the compensation, I'll stay. Yet when it comes to like the higher up people in those jobs, sometimes corporate America, you feel like you have to wash their feet or bow to them just because they have a higher title than you and they make more than you. Now, if you're trying to chase the corporate ladder and your goal is to chase the money, not what matters, which is your life purpose, that's what I do. You find yourself fearful, stressed out, high anxiety, not knowing what your purpose is because you're too busy in the hamster wheel of fear. Okay, I must bow down to this one. If I don't, I'm throwing down the caste system to level 3. And I want to be at level 49. Just those numbers alone will trigger anxiety in a lot of people because we tend to not be in control of our own imaginations. We tend to not be in control of how we value and respect ourselves. And we tend to not know what level of life we're on in the season that we're in. It's interesting how many elders, I can't call them elders because there's a difference. An older is somebody in their late 50s, 60s, 70s, still kicking and pushing and doing whatever they do, yet their mindset is still in their 20s, teens, 30s, and they haven't learned anything to even offer advice to the youth. Compared to an elder has learned, has gained experience, and is able to give wisdom to the youth in a way that almost like in African parables, where they'll give you this one sentence. You're like, what the hell does that even mean? They drop the nugget, and it's up to you to experience life and see, oh, that's what they were saying. I got it. That's what an elder does, right? They speak minimum. Yeah, but they speak with power. And older, you can't shut these frogs up. I don't know why I called them frogs just now, but I feel like you can't shut these frogs up because they have that energetic energy of youth, they can give out information, yet they're still at the mindset of the youth. They're the same energetic age. They're not of the age that they should be, right? Because we all have a physical age and an energetic age. I know for me, my energetic age, I used to be an old soul. I still am. Yet my energetic age, I would say, is probably about 35. Yet I'm 41 now. So I'm not too far off my maturity or lessons and experience. I'm playing a little bit of catch up here. Yet spiritually, I would say because of my gifts, I'm obtaining more jewels to my toolbox as I experience life. And I'm going to just call them experiences again because it's a lot, y'all. I know everybody's experience is unique. It's just for me, I'm grateful for my ancestors. Let's just say that. I'm grateful for my ancestors, for my divine protection, for my guidance, for all those things, right? So that level of respect comes through fear. We're fearful of, and I'm just circling back to the top because I know I can go off and comedy and I'm bringing it back. I keep looking at it because I have it up here, I have it pulled up. Does your level of respect come through fear? Let's look at a couple. Does your level of respect come through fear? Y'all hear the sigh, right? So when you have two adults that are consciously choosing to be together, the level of respect comes through fear when A, you're not equally yoked. B, when this could be unequally yoked as well. Equally yoked, I guess I can say, let's talk about religion or spirituality. Y'all can see certain things and come to a compromise or agree to disagree, yet there's a level of respect that comes through because one person doesn't want to overstep the bounds, I should say, and be out of bounds and say some things that kind of may seem out of pocket or disrespectful because of a person's belief system. And good luck on, I don't know how that works yet. They say the heart has no bounds. The heart wants what it wants, right? B, one person in the relationship is a representative. And when I say that, I mean they are representative because they have hidden agendas. And hidden agendas could even be described as, like taking the mic, like just walking around, like Pastor Denise here. Hidden agendas can be insecurities. It could be manipulation. It could be, I don't like you, so I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. So when I flip it, with the couple, does your level of respect come through fear? The person on the other side of that couple, where you have the hidden agendas and the representative, and you're coming to them because whatever reason, that person creates a part of them becomes diminished. And as they diminish, the resentment increases. They diminish some more, the fear increases. Diminish some more, they don't even know themselves anymore, right? So the level of integrity drops as the hidden agendas get released, or unmasked, I should say. And then the levels of foolishness goes up, and ignorance, because now this person has lessened, it's not even humble, they've lessened their voice. They've lessened respect of themselves. They've lessened their value. They've lessened their worth. They've lessened who they are designed to be based on the fear of mental abuse. I'm going to just hit it what it is. Mental abuse. Physical abuse is there, yet mental is way worse than physical. Yes, I said it. Mental abuse is way worse than physical abuse. Because with physical abuse, here's the example. Let's say you had a partner and he beat you to a pulp for, 2 years straight. Finally, he gets found out, whatever. He goes to jail and he dies. He's no longer going to beat you again, right? Yeah, because he's gone. Mental abuse. Same scenario. Let's say you've been dealing with someone for 2 years where they intentionally wanted to mentally abuse you. Wanted to make you feel like you were less than who you were, all because they were insecure and they saw your greatness. Come on, somebody. So 2 years after you leave, because you finish your storyline, they go to jail for something else, whatever, and they die. You're still in that mindset of being less than those 3, 4, 5 years, 6, 7, 8 years later. Because why? They've planted the seed of destitute. They've planted the seed of less than. They've planted the seed of you're never going to be great. They've planted those seeds. They've watered it for 2 years straight. That's what? 365 times 2. That's what? You want to do math? Oh, 13.3. It's not funny. 730? I think so. 730. 730 days of mental abuse. Of somebody telling you that, hitting you with a hammer over your head, basically. Just hitting you. Without the physical, yet they're hitting you, that they're pounding in on your brain because they're telling you that you're less than what you are. Right? So you become fearful because you don't know what else they're going to say to you, because you don't know where to respect yourself anymore. You don't know if you're you anymore. You don't know where you came from. You don't know what you're growing through. You don't know what you're experiencing. You're just in robotic mode. You're in automaton mode. Your level of respect came through fear because you didn't know where you needed to be, because you allowed somebody else to take what was yours. Because the false evidence that appeared real was false evidence of thinking there was an actual hammer on your head every day beating you for 730 days. You didn't know it was there. You thought it was there because you allowed it. Because your level of respect for yourself was not on a higher bridge, was not on anywhere else. The only bridge you thought it was to jump off of it, the one in the mental suicide. Because you didn't know your worth. You didn't know where your respect came from. You allowed something that was not real to take you under. So you were energetically drowning. Right? You were energetically drowning. You were psychologically abused. But your level of respect came through fear. So at some point, because in life, everything is temporary, at some point you woke up. At some point you stood up. At some point you dusted off yourself. You looked at the rags and you made them into riches. Riches of your mind. Riches of your heart. Riches of courage. Riches of peace. Riches of discipline, riches of consistency to keep going and to remove this evidence that said it was real, yet portrayed to be something less than you until you realize, wait, so you were just projecting about your insecurities, about your hidden agendas, about your representative. You were projecting something onto me because you're a leech? I'm not going to go too much further into that, y'all. Y'all going to see me on stage preaching that one day. Watch. Manifest that. Count it all joy. Because when your level of respect comes through fear, you're not in a place of recognizing growth, which is healing. You don't even know you need to heal because you're in such a spiral, you can't even see it. Yet does your level of respect come through fear? I want you to ask yourself that after you hear this message. Does your level of respect come through fear? How long have you been in a place of complacency? You know, my brother Jacques-Paul Villafana has a quote. It says, comfortability breeds complacency, which breeds death. And it's not a physical death, because there are too many of us walking around here dead alive. Right? Trying to bring them to a real lighthearted place real quick. And I had dropped one of my cards. I was going to get that card, but the other card that just came through is this. Why fear? Just breathe. Focus on your breathing. You will get through this. And I really want to see what card that was down there. Just give me a second, y'all. Okay. So this card says ground your vulnerability in joy. So I know it's scary when your level of respect is coming through fear. Yet that card that just came out, ground your vulnerability in joy. It means setting yourself up to heal. Because no joy comes in the morning. Taking that time for introspection. Taking that time for your own truth. Being truthful to yourself. Right? All right, y'all. This one was a little bit different. Yet, I thank y'all for your time. I thank you for your patience. For listening for this episode of Dialate to Dialogue with the one and only Denise Camille. Does your level of respect come through fear? All right, y'all. Give thanks.